it soon, but think you'll ever love again? Maybe you won't kill your next family.
Joker's scream would fade to nothing and the title card would come up, Injustice: Gods Among Us. This is a game that is relatively old. If I'm correct, I believe it was made in 2013, and it truly portrays something that I believed hands down when this game came out, and frankly, something I still believe to this day, and that Injustice Joker proved how much of a genius he truly was. Now, I want to make this very clear. Joker is disgusting. He is horrible. He is the sickest of the sickest, the most gross of the gross types of villains you could possibly imagine. He's killed thousands, and especially in this game, he's killed even more. Now, why would I say that Joker is some sort of sadistic genius? Why would I say that Injustice Joker proved that he was such a genius? Well, I want to start right here with Batman. Now, back and forth, the game with Batman would go. Joker and Batman would play this game on hard mode, and Joker knew this, that Batman would always give him the mental and physical, and on top of that, every other challenge you can possibly imagine. But then, what happens when Joker decides he doesn't want to play that game anymore? He doesn't want to play this cat and mouse game with Batman. He wants something that would be far easier, and that would be Superman. Yes, I know this sounds absolutely insane, and I'll be the first to admit that it sounds like an absolute idiot is talking at the moment. But I've had long conversations with people, and with people far more informed than I am about comic books, but these people would be more or less agreeing with me that Superman, in a technical sense, would be an easier quote-unquote matchup for the Joker. Now, I don't mean it in a one-on-one brawl. We all know Superman would easily defeat the Joker, but I mean in terms of the mental sense. I mean, in this game, we literally hear Joker say these words to him. The words that he calls him
so big, so dumb.
He understands that you're gonna put him in jail, put him in prison, and nothing will change. He'll escape, and everything that he didn't want, or basically the heroes didn't want him to do, he'll still end up doing. So there's nothing they can do but kill him. And I'll be honest, initially, I thought, wow, yeah, why don't you just kill the Joker? Why don't you just end his life? And basically, it would save millions. Hands down, it would save millions. Joker is the catalyst for so many different things. But what's crazy is that Joker is such a genius that he didn't fear death. And the fact is, well, he knew that his death would mean so much more than even his life itself. He knew that these heroes would not have the gall, the balls to kill him, to end his life swiftly and erase him from quote-unquote existence, but they did. Superman did. But why did Superman feel so strongly enough that he could take someone's life? The blue big Boy Scout. Why would he take someone's life? Well, if you don't know the story, I'll tell you quickly what it is. Superman would run into both Joker and Harley Quinn. Feeling the effects of basically Joker's gas, he would see Doomsday. But that would not be Doomsday. Doomsday would be Lois Lane. Lois Lane with a child within her, Superman's child within her. He would take her up to space, and as his heart would, or as her heart, would stop, well, the entirety of Metropolis would explode with a bang. The biggest bang that the Joker has ever done in his entire villainy life. And it was all on easy mode. Joker truly believed that this plan, this version of taking down Superman was so easy that Batman was not as gullible, not as fun and Superman was so much easier, and all it took was one little plan, and snap. Everything Superman stood for was gone, sending Superman into the darkness, the deep, deep darkness, doing the one thing he thought he was never going to do, and that was kill. But unfortunately, in this timeline, Injustice Superman does just that, killing the Joker and sending him spiraling, grieving not only his wife, or, well, mother of his child, but also the baby that was within her at that very moment. Now, I want to talk about Joker really fast, and him doing this allows him to live forever, even in the dystopian society later on in the other Earth that the Justice League we know gets sent to. Well, he himself, or the Joker himself, is known throughout everywhere. And that's one thing Joker feared the most, not death, not living, not the Batman, not Superman, but the fear of not being remembered, being forgotten. And with this greatest achievement, with tampering with the greatest and most powerful superhero ever, it would make them all remember him forever. There's no way around it. There's no sugarcoating it. But Joker confirmed and stamped his way into villain legacy once Lois Lane's heart stopped beating, once Metropolis exploded, and once Superman went off the rails. Hands down, the Injustice Gods Among Us Joker truly made the world remember him. And like I said before, on one Earth, we are basically shown things that led up to this insane event, Joker's final call, but in a blink, most of the Justice League would actually be sent off. Which we're confused, at least as a viewer initially, because we just saw the events of what would have happened or what should have happened after the fact. But now we're seeing something on a totally different Earth. Now we're seeing that Joker's bomb didn't quote-unquote explode, and it actually teleported all of them to the Earth that it did explode. The dystopian world that was run by Superman and a ton of different people, but those people, at least in detail, will be talked about on a different day. Now, the Justice League was sent off there, and now this is a world where Joker did truly win, and like I said, Superman has effectively been ruling with an iron fist, hunting other heroes that do not agree, and eventually would go off the rails and want to make an example of what this world is. Now, in all reality, we look at the idea of killing somebody that is extremely bad as maybe it's an okay thing. Maybe it's alright. Someone like the Joker, someone that has killed so many, has ruined so many lives, you would think it's okay. It's okay that they kill him. It's okay that they end his life. But at the same time, once you cross that line, we see what happens. And frankly, there's no coming back. No coming back at all. Superman is in such a mindset that he believes that everything he's doing is for the greater good of the people's protection and the greater good of everybody on planet Earth. But in all reality, what he's doing is not good at all. He's controlling, manipulating, and just like the title, Injustice Gods Among Us, he's playing God. Superman was a god, was a baby that dropped out of the sky and had powers beyond anyone's comprehension. All he had to do was do one thing, kill, and the godhood would take over. The idea of what he could be for these people would cloud the judgment of what he was doing, killing thousands of inmates and even more, killing those who just opposed him. And that was it. And it would go deeper and deeper. Now, some of you may even be thinking, well, I mean, at this point, Joker's dead. Like, frankly, the Injustice Joker that we see throughout the game isn't really that smart. we don't really see him do anything else that crazy. And that's true. I will say the smartest thing we eventually see him do outside of the whole Superman thing, and if you don't count that because it's on a different Earth technically or different timeline, the smartest thing we do see him do is manipulate Harley Quinn into allowing him to more or less take over once again, filling the void that the once Joker actually held, and now this new Joker is holding now. Now, I won't say that the Joker is some sort of, master manipulator beyond the grave, but at the same time, he proved over and over again that he is a genius, because the aftermath that everything, all the little bits and pieces that happen with Superman is truly because of the Joker. But there is someone else in the fray that I won't talk about very often, but I will bring her up, that actually cultivates the fear, the aggression, and also the absolute godhood that, well, Clark is truly feeling at this moment to quote-unquote protect these people, and that would be Wonder Woman, Injustice Wonder Woman. But if you guys want to see a video on that, I will most likely talk about Injustice Wonder Woman in a totally different video, because I want to go more in depth in that as well. But let's get back to the Joker and basically what he did to affect this timeline so greatly. So we know, like I said before, he killed more or less everything that Clark or Superman loved, and he felt that it was playing the game on easy mode, especially when dealing with someone as big and dumb as Superman. But this big and dumb person would eventually and more or less lead him down the pathway of going to kill as many villains as possible. But then once he does that, what's next? This is all just a catalyst. Joker is the biggest catalyst, because it goes from I'm going to kill one person in killing the Joker, and one mistake is okay. As he plunges his hand through Joker's chest, he understands that he's taking this person's life out of grief, out of anger for his, well, lover and also his child, his unborn child. But from then on, all this is a catalyst. He now sees these villains in a different light. If he killed all of these villains, well then, hey, this would happen. Nobody would get hurt. Everyone would be safe. What happened to Lois and my son or daughter, so on, would not have happened. Nothing would have happened. It would never happen to anyone else. So then he goes on and kills some more inmates. Some of the worst of the worst. And we've seen this in Injustice 2. Now, I don't want to talk too much about Injustice 2, because that's a kind of a game in its own sake, and a lot of things could be talked about in terms of that game, but that is a part of a flashback involving basically the events of Injustice 1. Now, he kills all those inmates, and we know what occurs. Batman basically just gets rid of Damian Wayne, and that whole spiel happens, and there's multiple reasons for that, and it's completely valid, but all it takes is one step after another. It started with Joker. Joker being the mad spark, the light of the fire. He started by doing it by killing, well, the loved ones of Clark, and then leading to his death. Once he died, he killed thousands of inmates. And once the thousands of inmates died, he would control everybody, every innocent person, to make sure that they were quote-unquote always doing good and stopping crime before it happens. See, stopping crime before it happens may sound nice, but it's not very legitimate, especially when the smallest little inconvenient speck on a resume could lead to execution, could lead to imprisonment. There is no longer free will. There is no longer living. It is just rule. And that's just the next step. The step after that, well, that's revolt. Because once people start revolting, once people start actually realizing, hey, Superman's not that good, he's a monster. And after he killed Lex Luthor, they all believed this. after he killed Lex Luthor, they all thought that he was a monster. Now, once you are framed as a monster, once you are the person under that light, that you are the villain you didn't want to be, you are the villain that you tried to get rid of for so long, just like all the rest, what do you start thinking? Well, there's two ways to look at this, and one of them is not the way Superman looked at it. One way would be Superman taking accountability, looking at himself in the mirror, staring at himself. What did I do to get myself exactly in this position? What caused me to go so far off the rails that I felt that I didn't need to be checked, that I didn't need to be stopped? That's one way. But spoiler alert, Superman did not think that way. The other way would be, they're selfish. Look what I gave them. I gave them everything. Protection, life without crime. I gave them purpose. Now, I'm gonna turn on them. All of these things ended up leading Superman to become the villain that he never wanted to be. But there's one person that would be smiling beyond the grave because of that, as Superman would eliminate Shazam, a child at that, Shazam being a young kid in Billy. There's one person beyond the grave smiling. That is the Joker. The Joker caused all of this. The Joker caused every step of it. And don't get it twisted. If you think, oh, well, he didn't actually mean to do all of this, I think you're underestimating how much of a genius he truly was. Going head to head with Batman this entire time, and it took one try, and he outdid Superman in one day, taking everything away from him in a matter of minutes. Just like that. The game that Joker and Batman play is a very high level one and a very mentally challenging one. Superman was not ready for it, and this led Superman down the pathway that was unforgiving. And that's why, frankly, this is when Injustice Joker proved that he was a flat out genius. He knew that this big bad blue Boy Scout would be susceptible to these mind games, would be susceptible to losing it all. And he would be remembered, Joker would be remembered forever. The one that spiraled humanity out of control. The one that got so far, dug so deep into the head of the one and only Superman that there was no climbing out and there was no choice of redemption. Superman was broken, and in turn, Superman broke society. Now, with that said, I would love to hear what you guys think about the video. What do you think about the idea of Injustice Joker proving that he was a genius, or basically when Injustice Joker proved he was a genius, or sadistic genius at that? I'm not sure exactly what I'll title this video. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. If you want to see a video on Wonder Woman, I definitely want to do that, talking about Injustice Wonder Woman. Let me know. I definitely would be down to do that. And on top of that, as always, I'm a comic casual. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Those who are way more informed than I am. Shoot, maybe there's a Joker that you can think of that is even crazier than this one, that proves how much of a genius he truly is. I would love to hear it. I would love to see it. Maybe tell me what the comic is or whatever, and I'll go read it or whatever. That'd be cool. With that said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.